Hey guys, welcome back to the Run It Back podcast. This week is the Monaco Grand Prix, and alongside with me, as always, is Wes. How you doing today, Wes?
Today's race sucked dick.
Yeah, absolutely right. It was not the most exciting of races. I will say it was also not the most exciting of Monaco Grand Prix. I will admit, but I never really watched Monaco for the race. I've always watched Monaco for the qualifying. So yeah, absolutely. We are back at Monaco, the Principality. Um, so fun fact, Wes. Prior to COVID canceling the Monaco Grand Prix, Monaco was actually the only country that's ever held a Grand Prix every single year up until the COVID, pretty much. And then now we're back, and so yeah, I guess we're starting new streaks with Monaco. But I'm glad you kind of aired out your general thoughts. But let me hear more. Any overall overarching themes that you think fit more with this year's Monaco Grand Prix?
Let's just say mechanics not having the greatest of times
Mm,
in the case of Ferrari and Mercedes.
mm.
Uh, you know, Max was basically handed a victory today,
Yeah,
and I'm no longer a Honda driver, so I have every right to say how I feel these days. Um, yeah, so yeah, side note, run it back nation. Um I bought a new car. So, but anyway, and it's not a Honda. But anyway, yeah, of course, Monaco being the only pretty much one of very few places where Saturday is the race really and
right.
not Sunday.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, Max was already going to win.
Yeah.
And
So
then of course, yeah, with the mechanics at Ferrari just messing up Charles and wheel guns and wheel nuts not working. Huh. Well, I hope that's the only nut on any of those dudes that's not working. But anyway, just kidding. But yeah, it wasn't really fun. It wasn't
yeah.
really fun to watch. And I've enjoyed Monaco Grand Prix over the past couple of years, and I know what everyone's gonna say. Wes is just a sore loser because his guy didn't win. Yeah, yeah, that's really what it is, and I'm not afraid to admit that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You pretty much yeah. I mean, yeah, thank you for sharing that cuz like I was kind of going through social media about the reactions of the Grand Prix and it was kind of mixed. Some people quite enjoyed it. I know Joran quite enjoyed it. For me, yeah, there was times where I kind of, I woke up quite early to watch. I mean, it's 8 o'clock, but still on a Sunday.
Oh,
Uh,
hey, 8 o'clock is quite early for people our age.
oh,
So
exactly.
you and me are a different breed, buddy.
No, absolutely. So like, I went back to sleep right after the race. To be honest, I was about to say I was falling asleep like kind of at some portions of the race. Yeah, I was kind of hoping for a safety car to kind of liven things up, but I mean, some of these drivers they drive pretty clean. There was not a lot of overtaking opportunities, so there's definitely no chances for
If any.
yeah, if any. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so yeah, we're gonna take a quick break. Right after that, we're just gonna go through qualifying and the race. And yeah, you're gonna pretty much hear our reactions and our thoughts on the race and qualifying. So we'll see you
And me
back.
being angry all podcast.
All right, guys, we'll see you back. All right, guys, welcome back to the Run It Back podcast. And yeah, so we pretty much discussed our overall thoughts on the race today. We are recording this on Sunday, but now we're just gonna go a little bit more in depth of qualifying and the race. So in qualifying, there was a big controversy, right? Charles Leclerc in I think it was a lap that he was pushing for a better time. He actually got pole. He crashed, and this caused Max Verstappen, this caused Valtteri Bottas, and this caused Carlos Sainz to abort their lap because the session was red flagged in Q3. Um, but yeah, what a big surprise! Charles Leclerc for Ferrari takes pole over Max Verstappen, Valtteri Bottas, and I guess you could say Carlos Sainz and Lando Norris as well. It looked like the Ferraris were on pace this week, and yeah, it was a nice surprise.
It was, and that was already a big morale booster for the red team,
Right.
because it showed them that there's still some life
Right.
in their cars and in their work.
Hmm.
And what made it more fitting was that the hometown guy was the guy on pole.
Yeah.
And of course, Charles Leclerc has never had any particular success
Right.
in Monaco.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I mean, the way Sainz and Leclerc were moving on, I guess you could say for the most part, the weekend, minus, I guess, today, well,
Yeah.
Sainz, but,
Right.
it was just like, gosh, where was this earlier in the year?
Right. Right. Well, they seem to be a lot stronger in the slower tracks, right? Like the high downforce track. So I think that's an up for Ferrari. It seems as though
It's up for Ferrari, but it's also underwhelming for the casual, because what's the casual gonna hear from what you just said, Joy? Slow.
right. Yeah.
And
So
casuals will take that and be like, slow.
yeah, I think it shows at least that Ferrari is in the right direction, but unfortunately, there's new regulations next year, so it might be erased a little bit. So, yeah, oh, was there any more thoughts that you wanted to share, Wes?
Yeah, I didn't like how the ending of qualifying was, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people were very suspect of what happened, but I do genuinely believe that Charles just made a mistake because
Oh, definitely.
yeah.
No, because you're not gonna crash a multi-million-dollar car just to secure pole position. That's stupid.
Right.
That's like me saying I'm gonna go crash my car on purpose to collect all the insurance money.
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? It's because there have been two drivers that have done it on purpose to crash their car. Schumacher and Nico Rosberg, right? They've done it. It's these mind games, but I do genuinely believe that Charles Leclerc was going as fast as he could, and unfortunately, he just clipped the barrier, right? I don't think Charles is that type of guy, so he definitely would have wanted. He got the ultimate karma for it, right? The worst karma that you'd get. So, but yeah, Wes, who was the biggest surprise for you, like negatively, and give me your negative and positive surprises.
Negative Lewis.
Seven.
Because Monaco, I guess he was the defending
right
Monaco winner.
Right.
And P7 is almost throwing up the white flag.
Yeah.
Granted, it's not his fault. Something happened to the car.
All right. Yeah.
Unless something happened in transportation, or the mechanics just couldn't seem to get the setup right. But I don't know. It just didn't feel right. And for whatever reason, Bottas's garage seemed to have a remote chance at doing well. But yeah, and then like we've obviously discussed, Monaco is a place where track position or grid position rather, is really important. And guess what? If you're not one or two, it's going to be a hard day. It's going to be a long day at the office. Now, the positive, I'm going to give that to the light blue and orange number 4.
My man.
Sexy car, charismatic driver.
Yep.
Amazing engine, amazing results.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, let's go to Hamilton, right? So yeah, this was one of those weeks where I also believe this as well, Wes. We've spoken about this, right? Like Mercedes seemed to have one week that goes very bad for them throughout the season. Hopefully, they only have one or two bad weeks. Last year it was Great Britain, right? It was the second British Grand Prix where they allowed Verstappen to run off with the victory. But
Mm-hmm.
um, this year it seems to be Monaco, and everything just went wrong for Mercedes. But yeah, Lewis just didn't find the car. He did say that it was more of a setup thing. They were struggling to find the right setup to go and attack the corners. And also, it was warm, but it wasn't as hot as they thought it was gonna be, and so the tires weren't heating up for Hamilton, and so he struggled with tire temperatures all day. But yeah, and other than that, yeah, I do agree, but I'm probably gonna have to give this the positive to Carlos Sainz. I think Carlos Sainz was phenomenal. I do love Lando Norris, but I do believe that McLaren does have the third fastest car on the grid. I think Ferrari have the fourth fastest car, and so I didn't really expect Ferrari to be fast all week, and so with him in qualifying, I think it shocked me. Of course, Charles Leclerc shocked me the most, but I'll give it to Carlos because it seemed as though he was on the fastest lap until Charles Leclerc kind of shunted. So yeah, those are my big surprises.
No, I mean that those are good ones. And I think for anyone, they would say, look, Ferrari surprised us. We probably thought that this was either going to be a Red Bull versus Mercedes type of thing again,
Yeah,
and it's going to be two and a half cars, the
yeah,
half being Valtteri Bottas trying to run this place, and then it turns out that's not really the case, except for Max.
yeah,
And I mean, granted, Bottas, was right there, so I
yeah,
guess the shouts to Valtteri, but
yeah,
yeah, it's like the usual suspects didn't seem to come to play, and then of course the one driver that everyone can get behind, you know, happens to like it's no longer the little engine that could or the weird kid that could. It's now the weird kid that could potentially do something crazy
right.
and completely win everyone over.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, and that's the thing, right? I mean, I'm being quite nice here because I do want to say there's one driver that disappointed me the most, and
Uh-huh. It's the
that's
I think it's the other blue and orange car, right?
yes, yes, it is absolutely the other blue and orange car. But Daniel Ricciardo is my favorite driver, and he seemed quite happy after the race. He wasn't happy, but he kind of just took it on the chin and kind of said, on to the next weekend. Um, but yeah, I just didn't want to rub salt in the dude's wounds. He looks like he's struggling in that car. I will finally admit it. He probably needs. I mean, he needs one entire year to kind of reset.
Who could also share that mindset? A guy that was knocked out of Q1 today, Sonoda.
Sonoda, yeah, absolutely right. I mean, it looks like
I still love the guy.
I love the
Don't
guy.
get me
Yeah,
wrong,
yeah,
but god damn, I think we put too much pressure on him.
yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, right? I mean, that's the scariest thing is like doubt starts to creep in, and hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully doubt doesn't creep into Sonoda. But I think once we get to these bigger tracks, he'll be able to stretch his legs, go for some incredible overtakes. So, but yeah, yeah,
But I will also add, I guess I guess we're gonna have to close here on this one,
yeah,
Joy, for at least for qualifying wise. Yes, I could tell we're kind of running out of time on this, but not happy with Mazepin out qualifying MSC.
yeah. Big
That's
surprise,
dumb.
big
That's
surprise.
dumb.
But
Big capital DUMB dumb.
we will talk about that when we come back, guys. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we will talk about the race and pretty much uh, overall the race results. And so yeah, we'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back to the Run It Back podcast. And so yeah, we just got finished discussing the qualifying results. But now we will move on to the race. And I've always said this, Wes. Monaco is not for. It's not a spectacle for the race. It's more a spectacle for the qualifying. for me, the qualifying is a lot more tricky. It's a lot more exciting because one mistake and your lap is gone, right? I mean, Charles Leclerc will tell you, but I mean, unfortunately for him, he still got pole. But let's start with Charles. The way that so in Formula One, the way that they line up on the grid is that the drivers would have to just drive around the track for once and then kind of rejoin in the front of the grid. Unfortunately, Charles, who crashed out in qualifying, took a pretty big shunt to the back to the rear of his car. Everyone was kind of predicting that he needed a gearbox change, but Ferrari opted not to check. They did check, but they opted not to do a deep dive into, I guess, the engine to make sure that everything was okay. Either way, they can't really touch it. It's parked for May. Anything that they touch, they're probably gonna get penalty points for it. And yeah, they're probably if they broke if they tore the engine apart, they probably would have saw the issue right away, and they probably would have still had to take a massive grid penalty for engine replacement. But yeah, I mean, this is just it was just a way of Ferrari demonstrating that they'll do anything just to get a win, right? I mean, pole position in Monaco, quite secure. I mean, it's pretty secure that you're gonna win the race, and so of course I understand where Ferrari's coming from, but yeah. Anyway, your thoughts, Wes?
Well, it's pretty secure unless the car doesn't work.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I think Ferrari just broke all the rules of probability at that point.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
but yeah, like I said earlier, in the intro drop, this race sucked dick. For me, it sucked so much dick that I cut it off after lap 38.
yeah.
That's how frustrated I was with today's race. And like I said, haha, I'm the sore loser because Hamilton didn't win. But then again, that's called being a competitive mindset. Just ask Michael Jordan and the late Kobe Bryant.
I mean, I
Rest in
will
peace.
I will say, to a lot of our listeners, we are still fans, right? I will definitely tell you, right? Daniel Ricciardo is my favorite driver, and so whenever he's off, of course I'm gonna feel sad, but yeah, we're still all fans here. So Wes, like, it's totally fine, dude. But,
I was gonna say, are you gonna say it? I thought I was thinking you were gonna tell me that I was in the wrong.
No.
And I was gonna say, and if you did, I was ready to say, oh, fuck you.
No, absolutely not. And so yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, of course, I would have enjoyed it a little bit better if Ricciardo was in the mix. Unfortunately,
right.
He was not, right?
That's fair.
I did kind of. There was a lot of times in the race where I looked to Ricciardo and where he was at, and he was just not moving anywhere. He was pretty much stuck at 11th and 12th. So I was like,
right.
Well, there's not a lot of choices here.
Right, and I also had a reason to cut it off. Like, just because we're covering Formula One doesn't mean I also have, I guess, other things to do. Unfortunately, unless I was paid to do this, right?
Right.
Unfortunately, we're doing this for fun because why? That's what we're here to do.
Right.
We're here to have fun.
Right.
But yeah, I was just like, I've never been so frustrated with a race until today that I had to literally cut off my TV and start my errands early.
Yeah.
Because generally I like to stick around and watch all of that. But I don't know. Something about today was so different. But if there's something I should be happy about, it's that yes, a guy that everyone seems to love in Max Verstappen won the race.
Yeah.
Lando Norris got a podium.
Alongside.
He is so close. Alongside Carlos Sainz. Alongside Sainz.
Right.
And I'm getting that much closer. I'm knocking on the door for my prediction that Lando is going to win a race.
Yeah, he's really close. He's really close, right? I mean, there's got to be a track that suits the McLaren a little bit better. I think it's gonna be Hungary, but we're gonna see. But yeah. Any more thoughts, Wes? I kind of cut you off there.
No, it's okay. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how the next race is going to be, which is Azerbaijan.
yeah.
You know, what if Charles just pulls into the castle again? For all I know,
I mean, it could be possible, right? But yeah,
or could we have that one year where it was like Bottas and Hamilton
and
um,
yeah,
going for it, and then because Hamilton went wide on the last turn, it cost them that extra bit of time, and maybe this time it's the other way around. Who knows? But today's race was a complete, uh, shit in a bag
yeah,
for me.
yeah. I mean, I don't blame you, dude. There was moments where I almost fell asleep. And like I said, I kind of I went right back to sleep after the race. And so yeah, I'll just let you guys know. So the top four was a top five, I guess. Verstappen, Sainz, Norris, Perez, and Vettel. So congratulations to Vettel. Unfortunately, Sergio Perez couldn't really stick it into the podium. I believe
Oh.
Red Bull would have loved to have that, but congratulations to Lando and Sainz. The Muppets are back into the podium. This time they're together, and so that was quite exciting. But yeah, I mean, this was the. By the way, this was on average the second youngest podium finish, and so yeah, it was quite incredible. I believe the youngest podium finish was last year in Monza when it was Gasly, Sainz, and Stroll, I believe. No, it wasn't Stroll. I forgot who finished third in that race, but
No, I
uh,
think it was Stroll.
it was okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, cool. But yeah,
because I wasn't happy with one of the guys that was on the podium,
that
and
was on a
I had
podium.
to. I've had reason to believe that guy was Stroll.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I do know that was the youngest at that time, or in Formula One, it still is. But yeah, exciting to see Ferrari, McLaren back into the podium alongside Red Bull. Fortunately, of course, Mercedes, they're kind of a fixture, a regular fixture into the podiums, and this is probably gonna be the last time you're gonna see that kind of combination for a while. Hopefully not. Hopefully we're gonna see more new combinations into the future. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty. Any thoughts, Wes?
I just hope Mercedes is better in
I think
Azerbaijan.
they will be better. I promise to all of our listeners out there that I promise you that Azerbaijan will be a lot more exciting, um, dry or wet. It's usually much more exciting in Azerbaijan in Baku. So yeah, definitely tune in at June 2nd, I believe. June 2nd to June 4th is the Grand Prix.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, 2 weeks. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much for listening. That is our show for Run It Back. Make sure to check us out at No Decision. Coming up next, we're pretty much going to talk about the entire new landscape of the heavyweight division, canceling one fight, spawning two others. So, yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks for the Run It Back podcast.